Good afternoon. Thank you so much to the Municipal Art Society for inviting me. I have had a strong connection to MAS since I've been on the Preservation Committee for over 15 years and more. And my name is Nina Rappaport, and I will see how these slides work here. Great. How can we provide spaces for urban manufacturing to encourage industries to take root in our cities so that they can thrive? What is the factory of the future, economically, architecturally, and urbanistically? These are some of the questions that I've been addressing with my project and exhibition, The Vertical Urban Factory, which I'm presenting in part today. Historically, factories, those places of making, shaping, and assembling things, were our cities. And our cities were factories, filled with multi-storied, dense spaces for making. Factories were integrated with life, providing stable jobs and building an urban economy. As factories leave American and European cities with the ease of containerized shipping and the digital supply chain, they find cheaper land and labor elsewhere. The new free trade zones in developing countries such as China, India, and Mexico, and network just-in-time production have contributed to what we know as the global flat world. And it's changed the dynamic of the cities by removing the process of making from our daily lives. As industry is redefined, cities and their entrepreneurs must find new strategies to maintain manufacturing sectors so that they inspire new modes of production. Many urban making places are what I call vertical urban factories, really a synonym for dense manufacturing. There are two types that I've identified, either those organized as these A and B, integrated spaces of production where one company owns the building or operates in the full building and the processing goes up and down, or where they use the flow of gravity and mechanized conveyors. The other type are layered pancake buildings, as we see here in C and D. These are usually leased spaces occupied by more than one company where they use individual floors for their processing and share elevators and loading docks or services such as power and water. But as manufacturing increases in developing countries, as trade barriers are further reduced and labor practices undergo closer scrutiny, new political and economic circumstances that they engender increasingly challenge environmental conditions in these factories, such as these wage comparisons showing the value of the work in the life of someone in China compared to workers working for Ford, and the great discrepancy we have. Industrialists and their designers need to approach factory design in ways that are worker-oriented spaces and that preserve industrial land. What might the future factory look like? In response to the urgent need for jobs and cleaner production, the vertical urban factory is a model for innovation integrated into the cityscape. New industries and niche production relating to the local consumer, as we heard yesterday, such as furniture, fashion, printing, and food, can continue to expand and revitalize urban economies. I've envisioned a few different architectural and land use scenarios for this near future, which can work together or independently. The first is the transparent factory, representing what I have called the consumption of production. A factory could engage and educate the public about making by displaying its manufacturing processes through large windows on our street cityscapes. Natural light would improve conditions for workers, and passerbys could see how things are made. This would elevate the workers' dignity and enhance their pride, and it already exists in this factory of VW by Henne Architects in Dresden. Another direction for the future is the cleaner and greener or sustainable factory, seen in the recycling plant here in Valdemingómez outside of Madrid by Abalos and Herrera. Manufacturing for sustainable industries such as plastic and paper recycling can be urban-based. Renewable energy production could also support new infrastructures. Local production also reduces transportation costs and creates what can be called urban industrial symbiosis, where one factory fuels another, and energy produced by a new building system can supply power for entire neighborhoods. Other factories are flexible, vertical factories such as in Hong Kong, or those in New York with high-tech workshops, maker spaces, shared hacker spaces that can be in new incubator buildings and made with government support. With open source manufacturing, CNC, and 3D printers, designers can quickly make prototypes and develop a product in small batches. Other spaces are those that we know as living and working spaces, cottage industries, where manufacturing can occur everywhere. We do not need separate industrial zones. New clean manufacturing could be integrated into mixed-use areas to encourage working and living in proximity with a mix of incomes and thus diversity and new public spaces where workers can be together. Even elevators in factories can be assets using regenerative energy flows that flows into the building system that would allow for multi-story factories. If factories could be taller and diversified and urban land can be zoned at higher densities, the vertical urban factory could be reinvented for future entrepreneurs in new flexible economies. A building type that was once inspiring in its architectural innovation in the modern age needs to be reconsidered as significant in its design today with new materials and technologies. Industrialists and urban planners must reconsider the potential for building factories vertically and allow for more land to be set aside for industrial use, and this in turn would reinforce and reinvest in the cycles of making, consuming, and recycling for sustainable and self-sufficient cities. Thank you.